The 19th day of the first regular session of the 20th Congress will now come to order. May we all rise for a moment of silent prayer. Roll call, Chief Clerk.
Senator Alec, Senator Aritos, Senator Figuer, Senator Coland, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Ned, Senator Panuelo,
Goodbye.
Senator Perman, Senator Romulo, Senator Ursmal, Senator Wally, Speaker Simina.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, 11 members are here.
we have quorum. Next item, reading of the journal. Acting Floor Leader Ursmal.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. I move that the reading of the journal be dispensed with.
And second, it's moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of the journal. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, item 5, presidential communications on receipt of numbers 20-23 through 20-34.
Chief Clerk, assign those. Next item,
Item 6, have some Supreme Court communications. There are none.
continue on.
Item 7, Mr. Speaker, member communications. There are none. Item 8, departmental communications. None. Item 9, agency or governmental authority communications. There are none. Item 10, state communications. There are none. Number 11 or item 11, state communications. There's none. Item 11, State Supreme Court communications. None either, Mr. Speaker. Item 12, municipal or town communications. There are none. Item 13, foreign government communications. We do not have any, Mr. Speaker.
Order of the day. Item 14, standing committee reports.
Mr. Speaker, for standing committee reports, we have an awaiting list number 20-05.
Thank you. Short recess. When will we get out? Congress is back in session. We're still on the standing committee reports. We have an awaiting list. Please take a look at those reports. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Item 15, special committee reports. There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 16, assignment of measures and communications. We have a referral sheet number 20-11.
Chairman and members, take a look at that for your planning purposes. Next
Speaker,
item.
point of privilege.
Chairman Panuelo, state your point.
Thank you, Speaker. Let me, on our behalf, recognize individuals who are observing our session this morning. We want to welcome them and for the interest in following the issues, important issues that are before Congress this morning. Let's begin with introducing Mr. Nakamasana, who is our banking commissioner. I saw Rob Solomon from the Department of Finance, our economist who was here. Also, we have here Bill James, who has been away for a long time and he's back. So this is an interesting morning that he's back following the important issues that are before Congress. And a good friend of ours, constituent of mine, Mr. Kendi Gosia, who's also here. So can we give him a collective round of applause and thank them for coming to observe the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Panuelo, and Congress joins you in welcoming those individuals, especially those who've been missing in action for a long time and have just joined us. Continue, Chairman Panuelo.
Yeah, Speaker, and of course, our good and diligent friend from the President's office who's here, Mr. Petrus, Belshazzar Petrus. So let's also recognize him and give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. He's always welcome. We know he has no choice. He has to join us every session day. Okay. Any other miscellaneous before we continue on? Next item, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, item 17, unfinished business. Under unfinished business, we have CP number 20-04 CD1 for second reading from your Committee on JNGO. CP number 20-04 CD1. It's a bill for an act to further amend Title II of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia as annotated, as amended by Public Laws numbers 18-33, 19-29, and 19-63 by amending sections 203 and 204 thereof, to dissolve the Office of Environment and Emergency Management and properly place it as one of the departments of the FSM national government and for other purposes.
Chairman Romulo.
Short recess, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess. Congress back in session. Chairman Ursimo, not Chairman Ursimo, Chairman Romulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for passage on said bill on the second and final reading.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 20-04 CD1. Discussion.
Speaker,
Chairman Kulan.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to clarify that on that bill, if there is any recommendation or suggestion from the executive, if they've been transmitted to this bill.
Romulo, can you help out our
Speaker, just rephrasing my statement to my co-chairman here that the question is, anything come up from executive to recommend that proposed bill?
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chairman Romulo.
Thank you, Chairman Colin. We have done our part, thoroughly review the bill, and we, since we differed from the last time, we have discussed with the potentials and the consequences that might arise. So we feel that it's in the best interest to move on with this bill, regardless if there is a communication from the executive branch on the said bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Romulo. Any further discussion? Are you satisfied, Chairman Kulan? Chairman Panuelo, you want to help out?
Yeah, Speaker, I want to just add my voice to it. I think the committee has done its due diligence to review the bill and has recommended the passage of it, and we have all read it. We're a separate branch. Sometimes we must do what we must do in the best interest of the nation. So I just want to add that and support the motion made by the chairman of Cheyenco. We're ready to vote. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Panuelo. Chairman Ursimo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In the case of YAP, yes, we have also discussed the issue between ourselves, between the two-member delegation, and with other members of the other delegation. We were made aware informally by informal communications the potential impact if this bill was to be enacted and sent across. I just wish to reiterate a point that I've been usually raising when talking about our national government. And the point is, while we should think that we all represent the FSM and all of the people of this nation, and that it doesn't matter where one cabinet member is from, that cabinet member should be thinking and working and doing things in the best interest of the whole nation, and not just to the state where that member of the cabinet is from. And I hope that the executive branch, including the president, would take that into consideration, that this federation is unfortunately made up of human beings, and consideration should be taken into account of the makeup of the cabinet, including the president's office. Previously, talks were made about special assistance to the president should represent the 4 states. Unfortunately, for whether it's because nobody is interested or whatever the reason, that has not been the case. So I hope if this bill should become law, if it pass second reading today, that before any action is taken by the executive, they keep that in mind. And I am grateful to a person that may be impacted, that he again reiterate, if this is the thinking of Congress and if this is going to improve our government, especially in relation to the threat of sea level rise and climate change, so be it. So we're ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Orismal. Chairman Berman?
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Good morning to you, Vice, acting floor members, and all that is observing our session this morning. I believe that Pompey is ready to vote, and I also believe that we're in support of this bill. My question is there a formal letter from the President's office or executive that regarding this bill?
Sure. Chairman Romulo, you want to care to answer the Chairman?
Thank you, Speaker and Chairman Berman. We have not received any communication, formal communication in the form of a black and white, but we have an indication from the President himself and the cabinet of what President wants with this bill, and we have that's the reason why we delayed to see if we could come to a point where we can compromise and see what exactly President wants. So this is the decision that we feel that it's the best interest of this government, and we thought that we would move forward despite what the President have said earlier and indicated to us, and also with what this individual have expressed, that he's in support of what Congress have decided if they see it fit for the interest of the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Romulo. There is no specific formal written letter or document from the executive branch opposing this bill.
Yes,
there have
Speaker,
been
for that
hearings.
reason, I think we should move forward. I think it's a good sign because no objection to this bill.
Thank you, Chairman Berman. Any other discussion?
Short recess.
Short recess? Is back in session. We're still on discussion of CP number 20-4 CT1. Chairman Ranalo, you have the floor.
Motion to pass on the said bill on the second and final reading.
Second.
Short recess. Congress back in session. It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 20-04 CD1. Continue discussion.
Question.
Questions been called for. There's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote by roll call of delegations. Chief Clerk.
State of Chuk, Chairman Aritas. State of Pohnpei, Chairman Panuelo.
Amen.
State of Kushai, Senator Alec. State of Yap, Chairman Ursmal. State of Yap.
Abstain twice, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, 4 states, 4-4.
Okay, your vote counted as yes. Okay, for that reason, CP number 20-4 CD1 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next item, under unfinished business.
There are none under unfinished business, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, short recess. So when Congress back in session,
Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Gulen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that we go back to a standing committee report. Item 14. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we go back to the item 14, which is the standing committee report calendar. Those in favor say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. We're now back to the item 14, standing committee reports. Chairman Gulen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Move that we adopt standing committee report 20-09.
Move to place at first.
Mr. Speaker, move to
Place
place.
the report.
Move to place order of business 20-09 on the calendar for today. Action.
Any second? It's moved and seconded that standing committee report number 20-9 be placed on the standing committee report calendar for action. Those, before we proceed, Acting Floor Leader, first of all.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I amend the motion?
Yes, it's a motion, main motion. You can
Okay.
always amend it.
I move to amend the motion to include standing committee reports number 20-07 and 20-08 on today's standing committee reports calendar for action.
Second.
And I also move that the relevant rules, especially the 24-hour waiting period, be suspended, and other section of our rules that may impede our action on these reports.
It's moved and seconded that the main motion be amended so that to include the placement of report number 20-7 and 20-8 on the standing committee report calendar for action, and the relevant rules, especially the one requiring 24-hour waiting period, be suspended. Okay, those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The amendment to the motion is adopted. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the main motion, that is the placement of Committee Reports 20-7, 20-8, and 20-9 on the standing committee report calendar, say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Those three reports are now placed on the standing committee report calendar for action. And as indicated, the relevant rules are suspended to this point. Okay, first report, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have standing committee report number 20-09 on two bills, CP numbers 20-15 and 20-26 from your Committee on TNC for adoption.
Chairman Colan.
Thank you, Speaker. Move for adoption of the Standing Committee Report 20-09. So move, Speaker.
Second, it's moved and seconded that Standing Committee Report number 20-09 be adopted. Discussion on the report. Any discussion?
Question?
Questions being called for? There's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 20-09 say yes. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Standing Committee Report number 20-9 is adopted. Next report, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, the next report is Standing Committee Report number 20-07 regarding Presidential Communication number 19-301 or the fiscal year 2018 budget from Health and Social Affairs for adoption.
Okay. Make your motion, Chairman Perman.
So move for its adoption, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that the Standing Committee Report number 20-7 be adopted by Congress. Discussion? Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 20-7 say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Standing Committee Report number 20-07 is adopted by Congress. Next report, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have Standing Committee Report number 20-08 regarding Congressional Resolution number 20-03 from your Committee on Health and Social Affairs for adoption.
Chairman Perman.
So move for its adoption, Mr.
Second.
Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt Standing Committee Report number 20-08. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, there's no objection. Debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 20-08 say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Standing Committee Report number 20-8 is adopted by Congress. Next report, Chief Clerk.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
If there's no objection, I will now go down to item 18.
Speaker.
Yes, Chairman Colan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that we stand for recess, come back 3:30. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that Congress stand in recess until 3 o'clock,
3:30.
3:30 this afternoon. Short recess. Congress back in session. We have a motion to stand in recess until 3:30 this afternoon. Those in favor of that motion say yes.
Yes.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until 3:30 this afternoon.